What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade again here for you, and in today's video we're going to be doing another hardware wallet comparison video. On my left we have the Keevo Model 1, and on my right we have the original Ledger Nano S. Stay tuned, you're definitely not going to want to miss this one. Alright guys, welcome back. So as I mentioned, in today's video we're going to be doing another hardware wallet comparison. But before I jump into the content, I just want to reiterate, I have a brand new ebook, 7 Best Ways to Secure Your Crypto, updated for 2021. It's 100% free. Check it out in the comments and in the description below as it pertains to what we're going to be talking about here specifically. With all that said, let's get into the content. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be looking at a comparison between the Keevo Model 1, which is a brand new hardware wallet. It's only been out for a few weeks and I've been testing it pretty rigorously. And on my right here is the Ledger Nano S that I've had for years. Now I like to do hardware wallet comparison videos specifically because it's really good to decide on certain factors when deciding when to purchase a hardware wallet to store your crypto on long term. And so I wanted to kind of give a side-by-side on 3 specific categories that we're going to cover. And at the very end, I will let you know which one of these wallets I would choose if I could only pick one. The 3 categories are, number 1 is the design, security, and form factor of each device. Number 2 is going to be the coin support, so any unique coins that each of these wallets hold or don't hold. And then third and final category is the total price, where we'll compare the price of these 2 wallets and then ultimately which one of these wallets I would choose if I could only choose one. So let's dive right in here. I'm gonna start with the Keevo Model 1 here, as it's a particularly new device. It's only been on the market for a couple of weeks now, and I have this device for testing. Now this is a premium and a high-end device, so I want to get that out of the way right at the beginning. But there's some very unique things about this wallet that I want to reiterate with you in terms of what differentiates it from other crypto hardware wallets. First thing you probably noticed is that this is a full touchscreen display, and it's obviously full color. This has a fingerprint authenticator as well, where you can program your thumbprint or also additional thumbprints for if you have a loved one or anything like that. Also at the top here, there is a USB-C connector here. This is both for charging the device as well as connecting it to the desktop application, which is extremely similar to the Trezor Suite or the Ledger Live application on a desktop. So it is managed completely on a desktop. There is no wireless option or mobile option for this higher end premium device. So I wanted to make that part clear. Now there's a couple key things about this device. Obviously it's very high end. It's got high end brushed stainless steel. The very quality and tooling of the device, you can just feel the quality in the device as you hold it. And I wanted to touch on a few different things in terms of what makes this unique and different from other hardware wallets. As I mentioned, this is a multi-factor and multi-sig wallet. And what that ultimately means is that you need 3 out of 4 factors in order to sign and authorize a transaction. The very first factor itself is this Keevo 1 device. You'll need this in order to obviously sign or secure any transactions going out of the device. The second factor here obviously is the thumbprint authenticator, where it requires your thumbprint, or if you program a loved one's thumbprint as well, you need a unique thumbprint in order to authorize and sign with the device. The third factor here is a PIN code, which is a 4 to 8 digit code that you will manually set for the device itself. And then the fourth and final factor here is what's known as the carbon key. Now this carbon key here is obviously it's magnetic and detachable. It's a dual chip architecture design, which means there is a secure element chip in this carbon key as well as this device itself. Another unique factor about this carbon key is that this hardware wallet does not have a 12 to 24 word recovery seed phrase when you set this up. That means that everything is generated as you sign the transactions, and this carbon key serves as a seedless recovery option. So that does make it secure, and it also does make it convenient so you don't have to worry about losing or protecting your recovery seed phrase. Now, another thing I wanted to point out about this particular device is not only is it multi-factor and multi-signature, but there is an optional beneficiary option. So as you can see here, this is an option where they've teamed up with Iron Mountain, and it's a custodian provider where you can send in this carbon key and you can assign a beneficiary to take over your crypto if you become incapacitated or if you die. Now, again, some people might not want to do that with their hardware wallet, which I completely understand, but this is the first hardware wallet provider or company that's giving you an optional beneficiary service where you can set it up with a custodian to easily and securely pass along your crypto to loved ones after you pass away, especially if they're not savvy with crypto to begin with. That is an optional subscription service. It's typically roughly around $100 a year. If you want to sign up for it, you can. If not, it's not required. So that is another unique, interesting factor that I do like that no other provider has even begun to tackle yet. Now, before I wrap this up and move on to the Ledger Nano S, I want to reiterate, because I know I'm going to get this question in the comments. What happens if there's no recovery seed phrase and I lose or break my hardware wallet here and I lose or break the carbon key? How do I get my crypto back? Well, I was digging around, and in the settings here, there is an option here for a seed phrase, and when you connect it to the desktop application, it will generate for you a 24-word recovery seed phrase that you can manually write down or use on a metal recovery seed backup device, whatever you choose. So that is optional, but again, is not required in order to initialize or set up the device. So just wanted to point that out, that it technically exists, it's just not required for the actual setup. Wanted to point that out here, and overall, pretty good impression on my experience testing, sending and receiving on the Keevo Model 1 here. So let's talk about the Ledger Nano S. Now, you've probably heard, obviously, of the Ledger Nano S. It's a very popular device. It's been around since 2015, I believe. And this one is obviously a cheaper device. We'll get into that in a minute. But this has a brushed stainless steel cover here, and this is basically it just has a very small screen, as you can see here, where it's supposed to have the, your different applications that you can use, as well as the transaction addresses. It only has two mechanical buttons at top here. This is used for navigating left or right on the screen, and then you click both of them at the same time to select. Personally, I don't like the user experience of this device. It is, Ledger is a good company and they're doing a lot of great things with their desktop application and the way that they set it up. It is connected here with a cable as well, obviously. This is managed with a Ledger Live application, which is actually a great desktop application for managing your crypto and your portfolio. It allows you to do lending on DeFi and Compound, and there's some other great things. Another con that you want to be aware of, because this is an entry-level device, this only allows you to hold 3 to 5 coins, depending on how big the application is. The way that this works is you have to install applications for coins on the device, and because it is so small, it only holds 3 to 5 coins. So that is another limiting factor of this device that you just want to be aware of. On the other video that I've done, Ledger Nano S versus Ledger Nano X, that's their second generation. It's upgraded, but we won't get into that right now. But because this is the lower entry level device, you only are limited to 3 to 4. In my case, I could only fit 4 coins on here, but technically some of them are smaller than others, so you could do about 3 to 5. And if you only have a few coins that you want to hold, this might work better for you. Another thing, as I mentioned, that I don't like is because this screen is so small, it cuts off the address that I'm sending to, and you have to wait for it to scroll. So for me, that's just kind of a pain. I manage obviously a lot of different hardware wallets, and the user experience for this hardware wallet, I personally don't like, but to each their own. Overall desktop application and the way for managing it is a lot better, so not all bad, but again, this is not a hardware wallet that I typically use with most of my crypto. So let's talk about the second category here, which is going to be coin support. So I wanted to touch on the coin support here for the Keevo Model 1 first. Now, this is, as I mentioned, a brand new device. It's only been on the market for a couple of weeks now, but as of shooting this video and as of launch, this device only will support 4 different coins. Number 1, obviously, is Bitcoin. This also includes Legacy and SegWit, and this also will support BEC32 as well, so just different variations and networks of Bitcoin. The second coin is Bitcoin Cash. The third coin is Bitcoin SV, and the fourth and final coin is Ethereum. As of right now, those are the only 4 coins that are supported. However, there are going to be expanded coin support in the very near future, and there are options to put in requests and votes for new coin support. As someone that's personally worked on a hardware wallet myself, I know it's very time intensive and capital intensive in order to expand time support with a lot of testing involved. So that will roll out. I just wanted to set that clear that this at launch only holds those 4 coins, but we'll be adding more down the line, as well as additional features like staking and so on. Now, as I mentioned here on the Ledger Nano S, this only holds 3 to technically 5 coins on the device at once. It does have a lot of different options though. There's all ERC20 tokens, so you have technically over 1,100 coins / tokens that you could hold on this device theoretically, but it only allows you to hold 3 or 4 coins at a time on this device. So just be aware of that. You have a lot more coin support options on this device. Again, only 3 to 4 on the device. You can delete apps and install new apps if you want to trade out what coins you store. Just keep that in mind, that's a limitation here. But as far as the overall coin variety support, this one hands down is going to win this category just because of the different coin support and staking options that are built into Ledger Live. You can also stake certain coins, examples like Tezos, Cosmos, Atom, Polkadot, etc. Those are all supported on the Ledger Nano S as well. So just wanted to say that in the category of coin support, technically Ledger Nano S is going to win. And you can check the links down below in the description for both of these, and we'll give you the most up-to-date deals as well as current coin support at whatever time you're watching this video. Let's end here on the third and the final category here, which is price. Now, the Keevo Model 1 price, as I mentioned, this is a premium or a high-end device. This device you see here is $299, and there is an optional $399 option for this, which includes an upgraded collector's edition carrying case for it. This is just for the first 1,000 users of this device, and that also includes 1 year subscription free of the Beneficiary service as well. So that's just an option for you, but again, it's not required. Now, the standard price on the Ledger Nano S, this, as I mentioned, is an entry-level device. The price on this, or full price on this, as you probably are aware, is $59 US. Again, there may be different deals and discounts depending on what time you're watching this video, so check the links in the description below for the most up-to-date and accurate discounts, deals, and coin support as well. Obviously, these are at 2 different ends of the spectrum, so if I had to choose one of these devices and I was brand new to crypto, which one would I choose? Personally, I would still choose the Keevo Model 1. Now, I'm not choosing the Keevo Model 1 because it's more expensive or anything like that, but currently they only support approximately 4 coins each right now. As I mentioned, this is a much higher end device. I mean, it has multi-factor, it has multi-sig, which is, again, a lot more secure. You have a lot more options with this in terms of the Beneficiary service, in terms of the carbon key, and the way that you can store it. And the desktop application on the Keevo Link is phenomenal in the testing that I've done. Not to say that the Ledger Live application isn't good, because it is very good, but also just the user experience, the way that I can send and receive, the way that I can manage my portfolio on Keevo is a much better experience than Ledger, just because this is a small device, you have mechanical buttons, and that tiny, tiny screen to me is really annoying, especially for someone that uses hardware wallets all the time. That's a big deal for me. In this round around, I choose Keevo Model 1 as the winner. However, if you are looking for a brand new entry-level wallet, the Ledger Nano S does have a lot of support as well. So just keep that in mind, that in this particular roundup, I am going to choose the Keevo Model 1. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the comments below, or if there is a category that I didn't cover for you, leave it down in the comments and I'll try to update that in a future video with other comparisons. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. If you click in the top right corner of the screen, there will be a video that shows the full review and unboxing of the Keevo Model 1, where I go into depth of all the ins and outs of this device and what my first impressions are. I will see you guys in that video. Crypto Renegade out.